What's going on? What up? It's Coach AJ Lou, and I want to go ahead and jump in. I'm a little late for the live, but I want to jump in real quick and talk about where I am going and why. So, if you haven't got a chance to watch, I'll link it in the description. My first video, but I quit my job a couple weeks ago. Decided to go travel around South America, and today I want to talk about where I'm going. It's a place called Medellin, Colombia, and I want to talk about why I'm going there. So, real quick, if it's your first time watching and you don't know who I am, I'm a run my own marketing business for a couple years before deciding to take a position at one of the world's largest crypto companies, crypto ATM companies. Did that for the last 2.5 years, and recently decided to go back out on my own and go explore the world. And today I want to talk about the the world. Now, I want to talk about some of the opportunities that exist out there in different places. Because I think what happens is it's easy for us to get very comfortable in the places that we are, right? So, I've been in America, my whole life. I've been to Mexico and the Dominican Republic, but outside of that, I've been nowhere. I haven't been anywhere. And you see the world through the lens of media and through the lens of movies and through the lens of all of these um, different mediums of media, right? And that's how we learn about the world. We learn it through that. We learn it through history books, which who knows how much is truth and how much is not, because it's his story. Only the victor gets to tell the story, right? So, but there's a whole world out there, right? And there's 7 people on the planet. Only 300 million of those people are here in the United States. The rest outside of this country, and I think that there's so much opportunity to go out and explore the world and meet people and have experiences and get to do new, exciting things and get to try new things and have, unique opportunities that aren't always here in this country. And so I want to talk about the place. So first, um, where I'm going. When I first decided to do this not too long ago, I started doing a lot of research. And at first I was like, oh, let me go to Mexico because it's close. It's on the same time zone as the US. It's relatively affordable. It's not too far if I need to get back, et cetera, et cetera. So I was kind of sold on Mexico, and I was looking at like Puerto Vallarta or Playa del Carmen, and I was heavy. Like there was like 2 times when I almost booked the Airbnb and I was gonna go to Mexico. But then I started doing more research and I was like, is Mexico the best place to go? So I started doing more research and I came across Panama and I came across Costa Rica. And I was really heavy looking at Costa Rica. But I found this place called Medellin, Colombia. Medellin, Colombia. Medellin is actually where Pablo Escobar used to run his drug cartel out of. He was the king of Medellin. That's where he was born and raised. Then you had the Cali cartel that was out of a place called Cali, Colombia. And so, you had these cartels running the country essentially, with Medellin kind of being the hub where Pablo Escobar did his whole thing. If you watch the movie Narcos, 80% of that movie is based out of Medellin. Now, obviously, Pablo Escobar was killed back in like the 90s. And since that time, sorry, need a little bit of water here. Since that time, the country has worked really hard to transform the environment. Now, that doesn't mean that it's a holy saint of a place, right? But what it is they call it the land of eternal spring. It's 75 degrees year round. That's the average temperature. Never too hot, never too cold. It does rain a little bit, drizzle, has its raining season and its rainy season, and it has its dry season. Um, but this place is immaculate, like beautiful weather, amazing, you know, uh, amazing places to go and see. And, they have this whole kind of city built on the hills. It's kind of the slums, I guess you could say. but this housing that's built on these hills that goes way up, and you can ride these metro cars all the way to the top. Amazing art, amazing history, great nightlife. But the thing that really attracted me there is there are a lot of digital nomads there. A lot of people from different countries, a lot of people from America, Canada, etc., that go down there and they work. They work remotely. They own their own business. They're doing things with clients. They're doing things in crypto, and that's where they live because it has great Wi-Fi. It is not. It's relatively safe. Like it used to be the single most dangerous place in the entire world, like the number one most dangerous city in the world. Now it's not on any of the top 50 lists. So it's not there. And when I tell you that, I want you to think about the fact that places like Baltimore, places like New Orleans, places like Philadelphia, places like Chicago, all of these places in the United States are on that top 50 most dangerous list, and this place is not. So there is petty crime. There are things like pickpocketing that happens because you have people. There's like these six classes there in Medellin, and you have the lowest class, which are people that are very poor. Maybe they're immigrants from Venezuela because all the turmoil in that country. They've gone across the border. They've gone into Colombia. They're trying to make themselves a home, and they have no money and very little resources. So they're trying to find ways to make money however they can. So you do see that poverty there, and then you kind of have these classes all the way up to the multimillionaire class. But you do have things like that. You also have a drug that's called scopolamine that is scary, right? So scopolamine, the TV show Vice did a special on this a couple years back where they went down there and they were trying to find it. And what it is, it's this flower that grows, and people take the flower, and I think they take like the seeds of the flower and they mash it up and they turn it into a powder, and then people can take this powder and they can slip it into people's drink, or they can blow it in people's face. And what it does is it makes you compliant. It's like they call it like a truth serum, essentially. So the FBI, not the FBI, the CIA experimented with it, and other places experimented with it. But basically, it's this drug that you got to look out for. People use it to rob people, right? So they give them this drug. This drug then makes you compliant. They tell you that you're suggestible. So they'll say, "Hey, why don't you send me this money? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" People will comply because their mind has been altered by this substance, and then they wake up and they don't remember any of it. So that's happened to people. But from all my research, a lot of that stuff happens to people that are going and doing kind of crazy things in the drug or whatever other crazy scenes that are going on out there, or people that are like doing dating apps on Tinder and trying to do hookup culture stuff, neither of which I'll be partaking in Colombia. So those are some of the dangers, but let's talk about the positives, the benefits. So, like I said, there are a lot of people from the United States who live out there. Amazing food, amazing views, places to hike, places to see art, music. It's like the reggaeton capital of the world, right? So you got great music. They got gyms, very fit, active culture, a lot of walking, kind of a walking culture. In the place I'll be in a place called Laureles. So in Colombia, you have these different areas. El Poblado is like the rich area. It's like the area of town where all of the millionaires and the most of the tourists go stay in El Poblado. Then you have this other community called Laureles. Laureles is more of like a local spot, but it's another great place for people that are tourists or expats or digital nomads, as people like to call them, that are traveling out there. You have Laureles. It's a little more of a local scene. It's not as crazy. It's not as wild party scene, although there is a lot to do. There's a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of food. That's where I'm staying in Laureles. Now, in Laureles, you don't have as many people that speak English. El Poblado is, it's such a tourist destination that you get a lot of people that are English speaking out there. Where I'm going, you got to know your Spanish. And so I'm working on it. I've been using this Duolingo app the last couple of weeks, and I'm using this Audible book. So I've kind of got my conjugations down. So I know what if I'm referring to me, it ends with an O. If I'm referring to you, it ends with an E, and things like that. So I'm starting to get that stuff down. But I figure the best way to learn a language is to immerse yourself in the culture. And so that's where I'm going. Now, the cool thing about Medellin is that it's kind of in the center of the country. There's all these other beautiful places in Colombia. So you got a place called Bogota, which is the capital of Colombia. It's the largest city out there. You can take a train or a bus, not a train, a bus or a flight out to Bogota. You also have Guatapé. Guatapé is a like it's like a lake. There's like these little man-made lakes, I believe it is, but you have this stairwell that takes you up to the top of this mountain, and you get like the most insane beautiful view maybe in the world, like one of the most beautiful views you can see in the entire planet in Guatapé. And then you have Cartagena. Cartagena is actually the number one tourist destination in Colombia, and that's because it's a beach town. And in Cartagena, they have the beach and they have, clubs and all that kind of stuff. So I'll probably do a day trip out to Cartagena. I'll probably do a 2-day trip out to Guatapé, maybe a 2-day trip to the capital, Bogota, and then spend a lot of time in Medellin and really just work on myself is like the goal, like work on myself, work on business. I'm going to work to travel. So one of the things that I'm going to work to do is make up all of my income that I had from my old job and more through crypto and content creation. And so those are the two ways that I'm going to look to make money, and I'm going to look to document it on here. So as I'm doing things in crypto and as I'm, going out and exploring these places, I'm going to share all of that with you on this YouTube channel. So let me see. I took some notes here to see if there was anything else I wanted to touch on. But yeah, the other beautiful thing about Medellin, it's only 2 hours ahead of where I am here in Las Vegas. So it's central time zone, which makes it super easy for talking to family, for communicating with people back home, for work, etc. If I get some clients. So those are the reasons that I am heading down to Medellin, Colombia. It's a beautiful place. If you want to come visit me after the first couple weeks, once I kind of get the lay of the land, hit me up. Would love to have any friends come down and visit. But yeah, that's what I got going on, man. And I'll be documenting the journey here on this YouTube channel. I will heavily be going over everything that I'm doing in crypto, because I'm like I said, I'm looking to replace my income that I was making, 6-figure income at my previous job, and exponentially more through cryptocurrency and content creation. So if you want to learn how to do that stuff along with me, or if you want to just kind of see what's going on outside of the bubble that is the United States or Canada, or wherever you're tuning in from, then like, subscribe, do all those good things, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.